if Peter does not want to be criticized, he should go back to his house and be eating jollof rice. Anyone who puts himself up for public office must be criticized, must be scrutinized, must be insulted. Anybody who feels too big to be criticized or too big to be insulted, and it is his mentality that his aides and his obedient mob, that is the same mentality they have. That, oh, our candidate cannot be criticized, but Tinubu can be called a drug lord, Atiku can be called a looter, a thief, but our candidate cannot be criticized. Supreme Court judges can be named and shamed. Court of Appeal judges can be intimidated and criticized and even say they should go and lynch their children. You understand? But our candidate, we draw the line when our candidate is involved.
Alright, so the Peter Obi and Deji Adeyanju issue has just taken a brand new turn, and trust me, you wouldn't believe the level this is going to right now, because Deji Adeyanju has just dropped another bombshell reply after being dragged to court by Peter Obi legal team. Now, let's rewind it a bit. We all know the back and forth that has been going on between Deji Adeyanju and Peter Obi. Deji has been giving what he called his honest opinion about Peter Obi recently, but those opinions haven't been sitting well with the Obidients at all. Before it even get to this stage, I made a video where Deji Adeyanju said that the North doesn't have interest in Peter Obi, and trust me, the Obedient movement went weird with reaction to that clip. And since then, Deji has not stopped. From interviews to his post on X, he kept pushing his views, but this time, Obi lawyers decided they have had enough. So, the Peter Obi legal team has officially charged Deji Adeyanju to court. They are demanding that he retract his statement and issues a public apology. According to them, his words are not just opinion anymore, but false and malicious claims aimed at damaging Obi's reputation. Some Nigerians are even speculating, could it be that Deji Adeyanju is now working for Tinubu? That is the kind of talk flying around right now. So this is the actual letter from the Obi's lawyer dated 26th of August 2025. Demand for retraction and apology for defamatory publication against His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. We act as the solicitor to His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State and presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, hereinafter referred to as our client. We write to you on his express instructions. It has been brought to our client's attention that through your social media handle at Adeyanju Deji on the platform X, formerly known as Twitter, you have repeatedly published false, malicious, and grossly defamatory statements concerning him, calculated to injure his reputation before right-thinking members of Nigerian public and the international community. Aside the earlier defamatory posts on your X handle, some of which dated back to 2022, our client's attention has been drawn particularly to your recent publication on the 21st August 2025, wherein you falsely alleged against him that Peter Obi can only be the president of the Obidients on social media. You see that my one vote, I will rather give it to Tinubu than the leader of the mob. Politically extremists who do not want Nigerians to criticize their presidential candidates have no place in our polity. So this is not the only one. There are a lot of it that I will scroll on the screen so that you guys can see there is a lot in that letter. But guess what? Deji Adeyanju didn't keep quiet. He came out on Channels TV to clear the air. In that interview, he explained why he has been making all of those comments. According to him, yes, Peter Obi may be one of the most credible politicians today, but that doesn't make him a perfect person. This whole drama is far from over, and it seems like the battle between Deji Adeyanju and Peter Obi is only just beginning. So I'm going to play the video for you guys so that you guys can see and hear the whole thing Deji Adeyanju has said. So what do you think? Is Deji simply speaking his mind, or he has crossed the line? Put your thoughts in the comment section, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do well to hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget to like and share this video so that YouTube can recommend it to more people.
In the wake up to the 2023 general election, because I'm not political, I'm just expressing my thoughts about why the opposition should come together and unite against the criminal APC and roguish APC government that always rig elections. That if the opposition is divided, that there's no way they can win. I was just expressing my political thoughts and views. The idea of the Obi candidacy excited me, and I said, but that he needed the buy-in of Atiku and Kwankwaso. I even urged Kwankwaso to deputize Obi. I urged Atiku to step down for Peter Obi, and all that. So in the process of that analysis, just expressing my views, I also said the fact that Atiku has been running for president in perpetuity, that he cannot continue to run. I was just expressing myself, my views as a Nigerian. So then Peter Obi all of a sudden started trying to reach out to me to meet me. But at that time I was out of the country. I think I was in Dubai or somewhere. You know, so, but he was persistent in reaching out to me. And I was avoiding him. But, you know, I didn't want to see him because I didn't want it to look like, oh, because I've expressed my views, which seems to be like almost in his favor, he now wants to see me and corner me to be one of his supporters. I'm not going to, I don't want to support any position because I'm not partisan. Because some people had already started even resigning from activism and joining him. You know, so I didn't want to join his bandwagon, but I was excited by the idea of Peter Obi because, of course, Southeast have not produced a president in a very long time, except after post-independence anyway. So I was excited. So subsequently, I made some further views, and this time around he was more persistent. So one of his aide, a journalist, reached out to me. So we subsequently met, and I said yes. He first recommended me for some of my views and all that, and said that it would be exciting to work together. I said I'm not working with anybody. But I now made some observations about the things that he has been accused of doing in the past. Corruption. Sarah reporter reported the story where his staff was caught with money. He tried to explain it, but I was not satisfied. Then I also raised the issue about these issues of him using state resources in Anambra to invest in his family business. His explanation to me in his defense was that he had resigned from the company before he became a governor. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't just wait to get up to leave the place. I'm like, how can a man that wants to be president of Nigeria not see the clear abuse? You understand? That he has abused his office to do such a thing. He was justifying it. He didn't see anything wrong in it. I was completely disgusted. So eventually I didn't want to disrespect him, so I wanted to leave. And then he got into, because we were like in the living room, it's like a suite. Then he got into a room and said, oh, please, he's coming. That he wants to go inside the room and he has something for me. So he brought one envelope or something like that. And said, no, this is just a small thing, it's just for coming, blah, blah, blah. I said, I laughed. I said, that means you don't know me. I said, and you are friends with Mimiko, former Governor Mimiko and others. There are people that I was close to. You will have asked them about me. If we do anything because of conviction, it's even me that will bring out of my money and support you. You know, so he kept insisting that it's not like that, it's not what I'm thinking. I said, God forbid, I left. So, however, I never revealed what happened to anyone. So I remember vividly, he went to, was it Egypt, to inspect some power something. At the peak of the Ekiti election, when his candidate in the Labour Party was running. So I criticized and said, you should be in Ekiti and not in Egypt. And I said, because you want to be president, you must go and campaign for your candidate and try to win. Man, his aides, some of these young boys that are around him, started insulting me, that the reason why I'm criticizing him now is because that I was saying that he was okay, he was good. That the reason why I'm criticizing him now is that I brought a proposal to him and I demanded, is it 200 million or something? And that he told me that. I said, me? And these are his close aides. So they started doing that. So I said, oh, because I had observed the pattern about them, that they terrorize people online, insult people, slander people. His mob, his obedient mob were practically uncontrollable during the last election. So I said, okay, so these people do not even want dissent of any kind of criticism of their candidate of any kind. I said, okay, I'm not going to even leave Tinubu alone and now face them, because we cannot have a situation in our country or in our polity where political extremism becomes the order of the day. And Nigerians are living witnesses to the things that eventually happened to the build-up of the last election. We have never had this kind of toxic political experience. Aside the Buharis, after the Buharis, the Obidients mob is the most toxic political movement that we have ever witnessed in this country. They threaten Supreme Court judges, Court of Appeal Court judges, threatening artists, threatening Professor Wole Soyinka, insulted everybody in this country because of Peter. And so, and what are the things I said? Everything I said is true. In a civil suit or criminal suit of defamation, justification, truth is a defense. What are the things I said? I said he's a political fraud, that he's parading himself as a messiah. Of course, he is a political fraud. Didn't he swear that he will never leave Abga? That any day he leaves Abga, let something which I won't want to say on TV. But he left Abga. The only thing that I forgot to say, among the things that he should now add to his defamation suit, is that he's a political prostitute. Hobnobbing, and look at what he said about the people that he wanted to defeat in the last election. He said they operate a structure of criminality, but today he's with them. He has one leg in PDP, they are discussing with him, another leg in ADC, and he's still a member of Labour Party. Confused politician. So he should do his worst.
Given that has been said, there was also another suit, we understand, so that we establish this. I understand you have also filed a suit against one of his followers. Is that true?
Is his aide, is one of his aide that always with him, one Sarah. In the build up to the election, she called my wife a prostitute. That my wife, and he endorses these things because these are his aides. There is no way your personal aides will be attacking people. Your critics, they'll be attacking them, insulting them. There's no name. They didn't call me. They called me a terrorist. They called me a gun runner. They said I was the one that supplied his aides, his close aides. That was the one that supplied arms for gun running for Dino. What is my business with Dino? They called me a murderer. There's no name. They called me a blackmailer. Blackmailing who? This same Peter who cannot tolerate criticism today calls Showore a blackmailer in chief because Sarah reporters ran the story against him. He's a political fraud.
Okay, so
and look at I called him a religious bigot. Of course, on this station, the former PDP chairman in Anambra in his state said he was the one that divided and started the religious division in Anambra between the Anglicans and the Catholics. Look at what he did in the last election. Look at what he was discussing with my Bishop Oyedepo, the Yes Daddy thing, calling the election a religious war, that he should be supported because the election is a religious war. He's a religious bigot. I said what I said, he should do his worst.
Well, Mr. Adeyanju, because this platform is an international platform, let's measure our words. I know these issues will still be discussed in court, but for the purpose of this conversation, since he's not here to speak to those issues, we don't want to be seen to be, insulting anybody's sensibilities. But those points, you've made them time and again on social media. I mean, people who don't know you will probably be shocked, but this is something you've done consistently. You're an activist, and you don't seem to be afraid to say your mind. But let's look through some of the other claims in that document that was addressed to you, because a lot of people are wondering, why are you doing this? They see you, in this sense, demarketing Mr. Peter Obi in favor of the APC, because that's what it is in that sense, because you actually said it clearly that rather than vote for Mr. Peter Obi on that first page, you said that you would rather give your vote to President Tinubu than to give it to Mr. Peter Obi. So a lot of people are asking, are you working with the APC? They always refer to your brother as well and say, oh, there's a certain Adeyanju working with government. So let's use this medium to speak to that. Are you defending or at least are you supporting the APC by demarketing Mr. Peter Obi?
Why will somebody like me, God forbid that I support APC, support APC for what?
But you said you'd rather give your vote to Mr. Tinubu.
If the opposition presents Peter Obi, I will vote Tinubu. Because we cannot have a situation where people, a man who leads a mob that terrorizes people online, that cannot tolerate criticism, that call people all sorts of, anybody that does not support their candidate is an enemy of Nigeria. Anybody that does not support the candidate has been paid, has been compromised, is supporting the government. Who has Peter Obi criticized this government like the way I've criticized? Does Peter Obi even know what democracy is? What sacrifices has he made for democracy? Look, we have put our line on the line for this country, for preservation of democracy, at personal expense of prosecution. What kind of charges have we not faced in this country? At a time I was almost charged for terrorism. They've charged me for all kinds of offenses in this country. So what are we talking about? What does this person know about democracy or preservation of democracy, for God's sake? What we are saying is that we must sanitize our polity, that we cannot have a country where people who terrorize others, who do not appreciate that people have the right. Look at what they did to Joke Silva during the election. They had artists and Nollywood people supporting them. Nobody terrorized those people. But they terrorized that woman because, and other people, because she decided to support Tinubu in the last election. People have the right. I have the right. I have never voted a bad candidate, in my opinion, before. I have never voted a bad candidate before, in my opinion. In 1999, I voted Obasanjo. In 2003, I abstained. In 2011, I voted Goodluck Jonathan. In 2015, I voted Goodluck Jonathan again against the so-called lovers of democracy who wanted Buhari. I said, there's no way somebody like me can vote Buhari, a man who truncated democracy and his antecedent. And I was vindicated. I said, Buhari's mob, they will suppress freedom of speech, freedom of expression. They will drive Nigeria into autocracy and militocracy. And that was what happened. I was vindicated. In 2019, Buhari didn't even allow me to vote. He arrested me and locked me up in a prison in Kano because I couldn't vote. In 2023, I voted Omoyele Sowore. So I have never voted a bad candidate before, in my opinion and in my view. And if the opposition makes the mistake of presenting Peter, I will vote Tinubu, just to prevent Peter Obi from emerging as president. Because we cannot have a nation
Mr. Adeyanju,
where the leader of the mob will run our country.
Alright, so as a lot of Nigeria are asking this big question, that why exactly is Deji Adeyanju constantly talking down on Peter Obi? Some Nigerians are beginning to believe that maybe Deji Adeyanju is secretly working for Tinubu, and here is why they think that: because Deji Adeyanju has always been known as an activist who pushes for the better governance and supports the idea of a new Nigeria. So naturally, the Obidients movement expected that he should also be supporting Peter Obi, since Peter Obi is widely seen as the face of that same vision. But now, with all this criticism coming from Deji Adeyanju, many Obidients are now saying maybe he has switched side, or maybe he's now backing Tinubu, and maybe that is why he's trying to put down Peter Obi, just to make sure that APC has a chance to win in the 2027 election. But here is the truth from Deji Adeyanju's own perspective. He's saying, I am not working for anybody. He insists that he's simply giving his honest opinion about anyone who wants to contest for the presidential seat. And if we are being fair, he does have the right to give his opinion. Every Nigerian has the right to question and criticize those who want to lead. Now, here's where things get interesting. Deji Adeyanju argues that Nigerians, especially the Obidients, don't want anyone to talk about their candidates. He says, if people can talk about Tinubu, who is the sitting president, then why should Peter Obi be untouchable? After all, Tinubu himself received daily criticism, and Nigerians don't hold back. So, in Deji's view, Obi and his supporters should also be open to criticism, because that's how democracy works. And if you really think about it, there is a point there, because Peter Obi may be deeply respected, especially for his integrity, and a lot of Nigerians see him as different from the typical politician. But at the end of the day, he's still human. No leader is ever 100% perfect. Nobody is above mistakes. And I think that is the main message Deji Adeyanju is trying to pass across. Not that Peter Obi is evil, not that he has no integrity, but that no matter how clean a politician looks, Nigerians should never be blinded by the love or loyalty to the point where they can't even see the flaws. Because if we want a truly better country, then we must be able to look at every leaders with clear eyes, not just emotion. So to me, this whole drama is more than just Deji versus Obi. It's really a lesson for Nigerians. We need to calm down and judge carefully, support whoever you believe in, but don't let that support turn into blind loyalty, because blind loyalty is what has kept us in this same cycle for years. Now, I really want to hear from you. What do you think about everything Deji Adeyanju has been saying about Peter, and also what you think about this particular interview? Do you think he's just speaking his truth, or do you believe that he's actually working for Tinubu behind the scene? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going, and please don't forget to share this video so more Nigeria can join in the discussion. If you are just coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, do well to hit hit that subscribe button. Also turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss the next updates. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one.